We are here today to talk about Ho'oponopono. I know it's hard to say, and we say wrong so many times, and one day we start saying right. But the right pronunciation is Ho'oponopono. And I'll tell you all about what it is, from what it came, but I just want to ask you first, did you ever hear about Ho'oponopono? You
No,
did.
other than what I've heard you say.
Okay. And Janice, what do you know about Ho'oponopono?
Well, I know that I think it originates from Hawaii, and it's a deeply moving, spiritual kind of release, and it's breath too. It's breath work. Yes.
You see,
Okay.
Debbie only knows what, because you got the workbook and what do
Well,
you know
only
about
what I
this?
just skimmed real
Yeah,
quickly through the workbook, but I've just heard you say the name.
okay.
But it's like, okay.
Okay. Okay.
But other than that, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume it came
Yeah.
from Hawaii because of what's on the paperwork,
Oh,
and it's a Hawaiian name or Polynesian name.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
about all I know about it.
So, I have the workbook I gave to you is actually the presentation. So you don't need to keep
okay.
taking notes. You save this time for you so you can really pay attention and participate in whatever you want to participate. So I will open the presentation and I'll keep going back and forth with the presentation. Okay.
Okay.
Can you see my screen? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you mean it.
Yes, I mean it.
You mean it.
So once upon a time, in Hawaii, there were a group, a tribe, right? They call tribe, called Karunas. The Karunas are a tribe where the Ho'oponopono actually was practiced. Ho'oponopono started when one person did something wrong or hurt somebody in the community or make a mistake, the entire community get together to talk, put the person in the center, and to talk to each person of the community, the family, talk qualities of that person that just did something wrong or made a mistake. So instead of accusation, instead of pointing fingers, each person would tell that person that was already feeling bad, telling all the qualities they see on this person. So one by one would say, but you do this, you are amazing in that, and we love you for this and this. And so just to lift up the energy of the forgiveness, the accepting, and the love, mainly love. Okay? So that's how the Karunas used to do this. So Ho'oponopono, the essence of Ho'oponopono is support for self-acceptance and forgiveness. Because when we make a mistake or when we do something wrong and we feel bad. So we need to accept the way we are. Humans make mistakes, forgive ourselves, and it's so good when we get the forgiveness of others, right? So the word Ho'oponopono means making it right, putting it right through a process. Okay, so that's what we will start to talking now about the process of this forgiving. It's very important to ask yourself if you believe in God or the universal power, the source, the beginning of all, whatever name it has. It's important to for you to, because if you don't believe that there is any a power above and beyond us, our existence, Ho'oponopono doesn't make much sense because there is all about the spiritual, it's a spiritual practice. So it was in the Karunas for many, 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 many decades. probably centuries. I don't have the data. And Mirna Simeona was one of the healers in this group. And in one moment in time, she was inspired to take this very sacred and sacrative practice and share with the world, because it was only practiced with this group. And she got this inspiration to no, it's now it's time for the world to have access to practice this too. I know many people that got miracles with the Ho'oponopono. If you go to YouTube, you see so many amazing things. There are teachers all over the world that dedicate their lives to teach that and to practice that. I personally had examples that were to make your hair up about when I start practicing people that had problems with me, or I had problems with them. I have one particular one I'll share with you, a friend that from nothing, because when I make the mistake, I acknowledge that. I ask for forgiveness. Is very easy for me. But sometimes you do things and you don't know you hurt the person, right? You don't know. And I am pretty sure I did nothing for this girl. And we are very close friends. We are very together all the time. And one day she just had a moment. So she just got so against me. We are going to a gathering. And when we came back, I called her and she was already in the evil side. I don't know what happened to her. So, and I tried to talk. She cut me from Facebook the same night. I was just trying to know what was going on, what's wrong. And I never knew. And I got disappointed and sad because she was like a sister for me. So, and then I had access to Ho'oponopono, and then I started doing Ho'oponopono. It was more than a year later. I started doing Ho'oponopono. In 2 weeks, she called me from nothing. She called me and I saw her name and was like, wow, because she cut me, she blocked my number, she did everything. It's like, wow, let me answer, right? And then she started apologizing. And she said that I did nothing and it already happened with her, with another friend that she had for years. And one day she just got that 5 minutes and she just made a big deal and it was nothing. And she realized that she did that again to me. And she was really sorry and stuff. So I deal the way I could deal with that, right? But the most important thing here is how vibrationally, energetically, she got the message that I really would like to have her in my life again. But I had my hands and my feet just closed and attached. So, and there are many other examples from clients of mine and the stories that I know from others that works. I would never take your time teaching something that was not powerful. Another thing that I want to tell you before we go on with the Ho'oponopono masterclass is we don't have to forgive anybody. We already had opportunities in another occasions to talk about this. We don't have to forgive anybody. Mainly situations of deep trauma and abuse, and don't feel ever forced that you are in a corner that you have to do anything. You don't. Forgiveness, I have to remind you, forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about free you from feeling bad. You know when you forgave, when you think about the person or listen to the voice or read their name and you don't feel that anger anymore. That's when you know you forgave. I had many people that ask me, but when you know? So sometimes you start faking until you make it. But sometimes the person doesn't want to forgive, just want to carry that, and it's a choice, right? In private coaching, we can talk better about this. But in general, I'm just telling you, I'm not here pushing you something that you have to. None of the things that we talk, you have to. But know and remember that it's a way to take that heavy heart feeling, that tightness, that anger, that disappointment, that unforgiveness, heavy duty away from your heart, and it will free you to love much more. You don't need to become friends of the person. You don't need to be lovey-dovey with the person. You don't need to keep talking about the person. You don't need to tell. It's nothing about the outside. It's an internal process that we all deserve to feel and free ourselves and be happy again. And whenever you listen to the name or to any situation that reminds you, it's like, oh, yeah, it happened to me, but without that. Okay. Okay. Any question, anything you want to say? No? Okay. So, so this is our family tree, or you can call genealogical tree. It's that's for us to understand what the Ho'oponopono will do as well. Okay, so the roots, right? The great grandpa and ma, and then we go right, and we go the couples and the kids and the kids and the couples, and you go this way until we get in our moment, right? It's like probably I am here, right? In your family, maybe you're here. So that's just to remind you that before you, there were other people, right? Before you came to the picture, there were other people. And we have reflexes of what they did and what they went through. We have the DNA. We don't only get the color of the eyes and the temperament, we get a lot more. We get their anger, we get their hunger, we get so many things. Remember, if you believe, right? Remember, if you don't want to believe in reincarnation, at least let's consider the ancestrality. So if you imagine at one side you have your father and mother, right? Behind you, you have father and mother. And then behind your father, their parents and their grandparents, and the side of your mother, the same. So if you imagine the line, how long this line go back, that's a good way sometimes to think about ancestrality. They went to wars, they went to hunger, they went to fighting with each other, they went to have no electricity, they went. So if you go back in history and you place the people of your own family that went back there, they come from back there, we have somehow energetically some influence of them. And we can't forget the gratitude. Many of them had to sacrifice a lot for us today to be here, right? They have to go through violence. They have to go through lots of things. They got robbed for many of these amazing things to just fight and to stay alive and to build a family and to fight for the family. And then now, here we are, knowing them or not, knowing their names, or it's not the important thing, but we didn't come from an egg, right? We came from two people. If you know them or not, if they're good or not, that's the way things happen in the human species, right? So I just want you, there is a prayer that I will show you, and it's very good to have this connection to your ancestors. And sometimes when things don't go well in your life, it's always good to remember that somehow we have some things sometimes sprinkle on us that don't belong to us, but energetically is in our energy field. And if you believe in reincarnation, or if you consider that's possible, reincarnation exists, besides having all these ancestors, you also have the experience you went through. And sometimes in other lives, we make some promises. We make some vows of never get married because we are nuns, vows of being poor for the rest of my life. I'll be poor because I hate the riches and I hate their money. They do bad things in the world. So I really promise I will never be rich in life. I want to be poor and prove my point and really have these values of being a fighter. And hello, sometimes you still have some energetic cords that attach you to those promises, to those vows. And sometimes it's your great grandmother that did. No girl in my family will ever marry. Oops. Oops, we got a sprinkle of that. No girl in my family will ever work. Oops. Or a grandpa or a great grandpa. No girl will ever be happy or work out or go to work. It has to be home and cooking and cleaning. And it's like, oops, we carry this power in our DNA somehow. So sometimes we need to really do a cleanse. Not only the cleanse of the house or the intestine, right? But the cleansing of our energetic field. Okay? Any question?
No, I think I hit on those.
I need to take a really quick break. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, and here we are, right? So we have our, let me just do the presentation full screen to be easier. So this is our beautiful tree. And this is the example of what I was saying, right? Here's you, here's me, and then mom and dad, and then dad has mom and dad, and mom has mom and dad, and the grandma has mom and dad, and grandpa has mom and dad, and our father's side grandma has mom and dad, and then the line goes all the way back, right?
Right.
So it makes us understand and consider that we carry a lot in our DNA and also in our energetic field. Whatever they went through, there are sprinkles that cross generations. Okay. Okay, so here is the original prayer. This original prayer is the prayer that Morna Simeona, and it's written with 2 R's, right? Morna Simeona created. And it goes this way. Divine Creator, Father, Mother, Child as one, as part of us, okay? If I, my family, relatives and ancestors have offended you, your family, relatives and ancestors in thoughts, words, deeds, and actions from the beginning of our creation to the present, I ask your forgiveness. We, right? Me and my entire family. Okay, so that's why I was talking about the ancestors, because you are now representing the entire tree.
That's
And
a lot of weight.
yes, right? But even though we don't think about, we carry anyways, right?
Yeah.
And then you say, and if you, your family, your relatives and ancestors have offended me, my family, relatives and ancestors in thoughts, words, deeds and actions, from the beginning of our creation to the present, we forgive you. Let this cleanse, purify, and release. Cut all the negative memories, blocks, energies, and negative vibrations, and transmute these unwanted energies into pure light. As it is said, it is done, and so it is. You guys have the copy in front of you, right? You printed, if you printed.
Yeah, I did. That's powerful.
Any question?
No, it's a very powerful statement. And I read it and thought it was exactly the same. But when you were reading it, because I skimmed it real quick, and then it was like, if I, and the next paragraph was if you. So you're forgiving them and you're asking for forgiveness, and then you ask them to forgive you.
Deb and Janice, there was war. There were wars. We don't know. If I have a problem with Mary, okay? Mary is the pain in my life, okay? Every part of my body, Mary is a pain there. And I don't know if my great-grandpa killed her great-grandma. I don't know if there was atrocities that
Yeah.
our families were involved. I don't know if they actually caused, they robbed all the money of my family and caused poverty and hunger for 2 or 3 generations of my family. We don't know. Whoever believes in reincarnation knows that there is a thing called the forgetting veil. So when you go through another incarnation, you forget everything. Thank God. Imagine I look at Debbie and, oh my God, Debbie,
Yeah.
my husband in the last incarnation. And I look at Janice, oh my God, I actually killed her dog in the last incarnation, right? So if we have the memory, everybody that we meet, we have the memory of what we caused to them or they caused to us. It will be a nightmare, our life. Thank God we don't, we forget. Plus, we have the things that our families did to each other from all the beginning of the times. Jesus Christ, it's a lot, right? Janice, any question or any input you want to make?
No,
No,
I'm good.
you're too quiet.
I was muted because my dog was barking.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. It's Daisy. She likes to participate in the class. So, so let me go back here. So if I have a problem with Mary, as I was saying, and Mary is driving me crazy. Debbie, you mentioned that you had one of your employees that was just the nightmare of your life.
Yeah.
And we always have neighbor, somebody that you go to that restaurant or that store or the post office. Oh my God, I hate when I hope I don't get that person, right? So then we start. If we have the understanding that things sometimes, and sometimes you meet a person in the very moment, and it's like really, my energy doesn't go there, right? I really didn't like the husband of this person. I really didn't like, and the person never did anything to you. So now you have another data that can adds up, another layer of understanding. Then you get home and you say, right? Divine creator, mother, father, child, or if you want to say divine creator in one person. divine creator, God, or the source, or universal power, whatever you want to say. Or if you have any goddess or god that you have more affinity. And then you say, if I, my family, my relatives, my ancestors did anything of thoughts and actions and did anything bad to this person, their families, their relatives and ancestors, by any means, I ask all of you for forgiveness. And if you can say the name of the person, if you, Mary, had done, you, your parents, your family, your relatives, your ancestors, had done anything in words, thoughts, and actions against me or my family, my relatives, my ancestor, my families in the past, since the beginning of the times, we forgive you all. May these release us from blockages and tightnesses and cords and any kind of energetic block that makes us not get along. I ask the universe to really cleanse and all this energy that is interfering in our relationship become pure light, be transformed in pure light, be recycled in pure light, and so be it. Simple. Of course, you have the thing you will read so many times and you will memorize somehow. Sometimes you take a look to see, but it's pretty, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, right? Because we do bad things, thinking, talking, doing, making, right? And it's included killing, it's included any kind of atrocity from the lightest thing to the worst thing possible, torture, right? Sent to the lions. Somebody was sending people to the lions, right? I don't know who was. I don't know if my grandpa was sending Mary, great grandpa, to the lions. I don't know what they did to me. So that I was like, always with Mary, right? Any question?
No, that makes sense. And you ask for your forgiveness, and then you ask for their forgiveness of you and the families.
In reality, they are not even asking me, but I am giving anyways.
Yeah.
They don't need to ask, right? We don't need to receive the approval, because energetically, this is a good thing, Debbie, that you remind me to say. In the energetic field, what's important is the moment that you sincerely acknowledge and say. Doesn't matter if the person will say, yeah, I forgive you. This is not important. Because in the moment that first I acknowledge my mistake, or I am just assuming there is a mistake, right? I acknowledge that. I ask God for forgiveness. I forgive myself. I am a human. It was awful, but I did it. I can't do anything now. If I could, I would reverse. If I could, I would not have done that. I will never do that again. And now I ask for forgiveness. If the person does the forgiveness or not, now it's their problem. If they want to live with that, no, I don't forgive her because she, that. It's not my problem, because I am cleansing. I am another person. If I did in another incarnation, now I am another person. I'm not the same. And I'm not my great grandmother. I didn't do anything for them. So because it's so clear, and if it was me that did, I truly apologize. It has to be from your heart. I truly apologize. I'm really, really sorry that I did this to you. Not my intention, and you have my word, it will never happen again. This is the last phase of the forgiveness. You make a promise that you will never, ever do that again. And it's a new commitment, right? So you clear the space to have a life to have the person in your life again. If the person wants, if the person doesn't want, it's their choice. But you let the person go, tranquil. You listen to their voice, you don't feel like, like Daisy, right? You don't put your nails and your teeth like cat. You just like, oh, it's that person. You can really have the right not to talk. Oh, that person got here. I really don't want to be in the same place she is, but not with anger, right? Because it's really, I don't want to talk to her, hug her. So you move, you leave. But it's a different energy to do as a choice than to do because you can't stand that. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
Got it.
Got it.
Any question? I want to hear a little bit from you. You guys have
No,
any experience or any person. Don't start. That's my recommendation. Don't start to doing Ho'oponopono with the hardest people. You start with the light things, silly things. Start with things that you still like you are resented or little things. Don't start with the worst person that did the worst in you, because it will be very tough on you and it will be very hard to see results. Let's start with these mild things, even people, your husband and your boyfriend or my father. So even with the family, little things that you got resented, maybe it was 3 years ago, but it was like, you know what? I really didn't forgive that thing that he or she did or they did. I still, when I think about, I have a feeling. Do with that and see what happens. And now I will proceed the real work. This is the statement that you open, like it's an opening prayer. Prepare yourself and prepare the energy. You say the name of the person so that energy is alert to receive whatever is coming next. Anything?
Well, backtracking to the family and the ancestors, what if you feel like you need to forgive them for all the terrible things they've like decided about you before they even knew you existed?
Yes.
Go for it.
Yes, go for it. Anything that takes you from your inner peace. Anything. Anything. Could be a car next door that is always at 10:30 p.m. do a brum, 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 brum for 5 minutes. It's anything that bothers you. And we'll see deeper, right, to why it bothers us. And then we feel more confident in doing that. Then we see how it really works and why it really works. Okay? Good?
Yeah.
Can we continue? Yeah?
Mhm.
Nice. So the practice of Ho'oponopono is simple and easy. And the good news is that you can do it in few steps and in few minutes. So what you start saying now, you mean it. And I will explain to you what each sentence means and actually why, how, and to what you direct them. So there are 4 sentences that in reality was not in the first statements of Morna Simeona. The Karunas didn't do this part. This Dr. Lane was one of the protege of Morna. When Morna brought this out, she was a teacher, right, in Hawaii, and she taught lectures and classes of Ho'oponopono to many people. And it looks like Dr. Lane was one of her brilliant students in Ho'oponopono, and he added this. Usually people don't know that, but you guys know when I go to study something, I study very deeply, right? And it's not in the original. They call original, but these 4 sentences were created by Dr. Lin. Okay? But it works and it's really good and it's very, very appropriate. So it's the moment of repentance. I'm sorry. And it's the moment to ask for forgiveness. Please forgive me. The moment of love. I love you, because we are all one. We are brothers and sisters, and the trees and animals and nature, we are all one. We see ourselves separate one from the other. But if you zoom out and you look Earth from outside, you see we are one planet full of things together. We breathe the same air, right? And then you show gratitude. Thank you. Many people do this, repeat this, and they don't know why, how, and to whom to direct or to what to direct. And now I'll show you how it works. Remember that we have memories, data, right? We have memories, data. Things that happen good, we have good memories, and things that happen badly to our life, we still remember decades after, and sometimes so vividly that is disturbing. So our job in Ho'oponopono is to access and release the origin of the problems, the root of the problem. Because the lens through which you see and feel yourself and the world is your responsibility. I'll say it again. The lens that you see the world and see yourself and feel everything that happens around you and inside you are the result the way you create it. It's your responsibility. Remember that smash the paper, that little ball? We come to the world clean, beautiful, fun, so joyful, that little baby, boo-boo, right? So pure, so amazing. And then people happens, and then things happens, and then we start being crushed, and then we carry for decades, sometimes a lifetime, a pain that somebody caused to us and changed us in the trajectory of our lives forever. Do they really deserve to do to us this? Oh no. Do they really? We give our power to them when we are 3, when we are 5 or 8 or 7 or 15 or 18, 25, 32, right? 40. We give our power away, and that person or that thing they did, oh, it still hurts us. And we change who we are accordingly to that pain. It's so easy for us to get an event that happened in the past and file that event wrongly in the future. Right? When we file, we don't file there in that cabinet that we close and you say, past, lock it, done. No, we misfile that and file in the future. It will happen again. I do that. Nobody did. And then that person that don't even remember what they did to me still have the power over me because I live my life as a reflex of what those people did to me. Is it fair? Is it fair, Janice?
Well, it's not fun.
Is it fair? Do you deserve to let people do this to you?
Yeah.
Is it fair?
Yeah.
I'm asking Janice.
Oh,
Is
no.
it fair?
No.
It happens, what happens, it happens. But the thing, my question is it fair what I do to myself, making that what happened, people, things, groups, to really have an effect on me for decades and ruin my life.
No.
I was telling Deb this morning, I had a bad experience with the cleaning crews, right? They come to your house and one person goes this is that. I had a bad experience. So other day, a month ago, my cleaning lady, she comes from a company, right? And she brought a person. And I was very clear in the beginning when I wrote all the things, right, to do my profile. I didn't want a crew. And then she said, do you mind? I brought my friend. And I was like, really? I mind. I told her, I really mind. Because she was supposed to ask, right?
Yeah.
Because it's clear I don't want people, many people. And then he was looking at me, he extended his arm and I shook his hand. I said, I really mind. I had a very bad experience with crews in the past. In the moment I was saying this, I saw I was misplacing my file. I teach this all the time, but I was doing, because the experience was not good at all. So in the moment I was saying, it's kind of, I saw my words coming as like, this doesn't make sense coming off my mouth. But I said, I had a very bad experience in the past, but you know what? Let me look at you with the new eyes and be open to an experience that will be amazing. So he did, and it was amazing. Both of them worked very well. It was awesome. So I am not saying that to throw petals on me, but it happens all the time in the little things, silly things, right? I will never go back to that store. I hear people say, I will never go back to this restaurant because the server was bad or it was a bad day. But you put that as like, oh, I hate that. So we make that a statement for life, and it's not needed to be this way, right? In the small things and the big things too. What's crossing your mind? I'll give you $10, Janice, to know what's going in your mind.
Well, I'm just thinking about things that I would like forgiveness for, and also thinking about my work. I love my work, but I really hate them for they've exasperated my patience with a couple of changes. I've been so good with changes, but the last couple of them was like, really, that's a bit much at this late date in the year. So maybe that I was just thinking about that might be a good place to start. It's not super emotionally charged like it would be with a family member or something.
Yeah, do it. I promise you, if you do these really sincerely, you will be surprised with the result. I was doing for that friend I mentioned, I was doing to practice, right? Yes, I wanted, but I was not feeling. In 2 weeks, after more than a year that she crossed me out from her life, it was pretty powerful. And I did in other situations, and things just changed. You can believe it. It's like the ocean opens. Do you know that kind of thing that's like, oh, wow. So it's just practice and see what's your experience will be. Debbie, anything?
No,
No.
no. I have lots to practice on.
We all have, Debbie. So knowing that our memories are there, and we have that data that is very powerful and rich, your job is to access and release where the problems started, where the moment that crunched the ball that we've been mentioning, the little ball that we were when we were born, we are like a nice and flat sheet of paper and people come and smash us. So the lens through which you see are the lens of the past experiences. Oh, I will never drink in a blue glass because it can have a cockroach or whatever you went through, right? So then we see and feel life through those lens of the past. So when you do that, it's your responsibility that you are doing that. So you're seeing the world in a way that the world is really not that way. So then here goes what I say, you mean it. So when somebody did something to you or you want to do the entire process of Ho'oponopono, you say, I'm sorry. After the prayer and all that, you say, I'm sorry. But it's an I'm sorry that has no suffering involved. It's like you step on somebody's foot and you say, I'm sorry. But when you're really sorry, oh, I'm sorry, but you're not suffering. Oh my God, I smashed your toes. You must be bleeding. No suffering. It's just a sincere, honest, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. When you say forgive me, maybe the person you didn't do anything, but what you are asking for forgiveness. I acknowledge I have a mindset that took me out of my inner peace, allowing me to see and feel this way. I didn't know I created that. It was in me. So just taking the silly example of the cleaning lady brought a guy with her. Then I would say, right, if it was really big deal, I let her bring, but I was pissed, I would say, thinking later, I would say, forgive me. Forgive me because I acknowledge that I have a mindset, because I had that experience in the past, that took me out of my inner peace. I could just see the guy, see the lady and said, yes, let's go. Let's do that. It would be awesome. If I was absolutely well, I didn't think about anything, but I had that memory. The memory has nothing to do with the guy or the girl. So that mindset allowed me to see and feel this way. Oh, another person is bad. I didn't even know the guy. I didn't know that I was the one that created that. It was in me. Then you say, I love you. I love you is self-acceptance. I love you, my memories. And I thank you for the opportunity to free you and free myself. So if I have a memory that Mary or Josephine, she really was very mean to me in that party, was always bringing comments that were really kind of a bully. And I was getting pissed off. Why? Because in the past, I was bullied. So it brings me an energy that's really, I want to get to her neck and squeeze her. So it's like self-acceptance in this prayer would be, I love you, my memories. And I thank you for the opportunity to free you and free myself. Because when I go through the entire prayer and I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, it's like those memories are still with me. The bully that I suffered when I was a kid is still with me. So I thank my memories because they are still there. But I thank them and I thank Mary for the opportunity she gave me to recall all these situations and free myself and free her and free the memories so they don't bother me anymore, right? Those bully things will get softer and softer and softer until disappear and free myself. And then it's gratitude. Thank you for allowing me to cleanse those memories. Thank you, Mary, because she was just getting my nerves. Actually, she was the one that promote all these cleans. So I'm thankful. Thank you so much for allowing me, for creating this situation that's allowing me to cleanse those memories. Any question?
No, I was thinking of memories and things that I should practice this on, which we've already practiced, or I've already done a few of these, but didn't know I was doing this process. And just this week, we had some little breakthroughs, but I went back to that original one that we had as a child, and which I don't have those memories of it anymore. So that was a good, but I didn't know I was practicing this. You sneaky girl. But yeah,
Why to give names to complicate, right?
yeah,
That's why I say that I have a Mary Poppins bag with a lot of
yeah,
things, and I pick them. I don't need to say now. I'm using a technique from Hawaii that's called Ho'oponopono. You don't need to.
yeah. It's like, well, we kind of had that a little bit of forgiveness just Monday and Tuesday of this week, but a couple of months ago and a year ago or so. But it's like, yeah, there's a few more I have to.
Oh yeah, and the new ones, right? The new
Yeah,
ones come up.
it's like,
Anything, Janice, you want to add? No? Okay.
hmm.
I think that's it.
Yeah. No, I that I have to read this now. I mean, I've read what you've put,
Mhm.
but now I'm going to have to read it and think about each of those statements. And
Yeah.
I think,
And sometimes you can go for the short one, just
yeah,
the four things, and then
yeah,
it's like, I'm sorry. If you are on a phone call and the person is being difficult, right? And put you on hold all the time, and that's taking your patience away. And then it's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I am the one that are bringing this in that person. You said they test my patience, and I know that you want to make your patience better, right?
yeah,
So you will meet people, Janice, that will take your patience away. So you can practice this skill. And that's these people, that's what people say. Your enemies are our masters. That's why, because they bring up the worst in us.
yeah,
They are there. They came to world just to and then it was like and then immediately we think the problem are them. But if they do the same thing with another person, doesn't irritate them. So the connection, when I meet that person irritates me, that person is doing me a favor. What's the favor? To bring up all that mud that's still having me, to bring to the surface. It take responsibility for this irritation that sometimes has very little with this new person, has to be with other stuff that I never worked. So I'm very grateful this person came, brought it all up, and I am thanking and I am asking for forgiveness because I'm so sorry that you have to come to my life to make to be such a with you, and it's actually nothing to be with you, but it helped me to clear. So that's so you can just go for the four questions, but I like to do the complete one because it's I don't know if what my problem with this person is me
mhm,
only can be I identify, oh yeah, that's what my ex-husband always did, right? But can be something else. So why not to clear everything, right? Why not to clear everything? And you're right, Janice, when you say, and I need to clear what they did to me. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yes. If it irritates you, if when the thought brings us like, oh, these people, right? So yeah, so you have to keep clearing, keep cleaning. There is say go ahead.
Oh, I think something that was very important for me to hear today was loving your memories. I usually feel they're a burden and they're haunting me, et cetera, et cetera. So to love them and to sort of see them in that light too is it's very mature.
Well, it's energetic. That's why, right, Janice, we do self-help, self-development, right? Because as much as we know about ourselves, we have more chance to live a happier life, live at peace. Because when we don't know any of that, we just live by default. And we keep just thinking that things happen to us. And Tony Robbins says, things don't happen to you, things happen for you. And I love this quote because things happen for me to take advantage of that situation and make the best I can. Not to be a victim, happened to me. We have the tendency, we all, to be victim and find the mistake in the other person. Blame the others. All the time we do this in a bigger or smaller scale. So when we start seeing ourselves not as a monster, not a bad person, we're cool. Remember that little baby that came goo goo dada? That's the essence of who we are. Happy, amazing beings. Things happen. The thing is, we are the ones that perpetuate the bad people did to us. I'll say it again. We are the ones that perpetuate the bad people did to us. They did. It's done. Nothing we can do about, but we grab it and carry it with us. And then we carry that as a filter that we see the world through that filter about what people did to us. And we see that person everywhere all the time. Decades later, we are still having that person here in the heart or in the backpack, as I used to say. Why? So it's not about guilt. It's not because it's your fault. No, it's your responsibility. It's totally different than fault. Nothing to be ashamed, not to be, it's your fault, not to be guilt. It's just the way things are with us human beings. But having the knowledge helps you now. Knowledge is not the power. The power is in the action. Now, knowing one tool more, you can use this tool for your benefit and to help others too, because you release yourself and you release Mary. Right? Mary don't need to know you did that. So Ho'oponopono has lots of stories. There are lots of stories about Dr. Lane that are amazing. But what more important for me was to select something really practical that you can start using now, right? And you can have these statements close to you, right? In a drawer or in a file that you can start using. And if you have any doubt, anytime, just ask me, okay? Text or email or call me and I'll be here. I'm here to just help you to make this happen. Okay?
Sounds good.
Sounds
Thank you.
good?
I reopened to the prayer. I'm going to reread that one
Yeah.
many times.
It's a good one. It's a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah. Awesome. I'm glad you guys liked.
Yeah.
I hope it really makes the miracle it does to everybody. If you are curious and you go to look for more, ask me because I'll give you the books that are serious. You will see online people that do with the Japamala, right? It's not the Japamala, it's like 108 times. It's like a rosary, but it's from Hindus. Hindus have no business with Hawaii. People start creating craziness around and making so complicated or missing the essence. So if you're curious and you want to know more, I have a lot of books about this and I have amazing people that are very studious and work hard and serious with Ho'oponopono that I can give to you as a reference. Okay?
Mhm.
You have a lovely, forgiving week.
Happy Mother's Day for your mother.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a mother of my clients. That's what they
Well,
say.
you're a mother of your fish, and she's a mother of her puppy. I have cats.
Okay.
Yeah. And one thing important, Debbie, getting what you just said, we need to be the mother we would like to have to
A
ourselves.
pet. Yeah.
We need to remember that we can have that energy, the motherhood energy, and pour on ourselves as we are the mother of the child we were, and the mother was never the way we would like that she could do. So be a good mother of your child,
Mm.
your inner child, every day. That's what I wish for you. Okay. Big hug,
Bye.
kiss, and
See
have
you
a good
next
week.
week.
See
See you
you.
next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.